your family has a history which is deeply intertwined with the history of this land. What's the history? Where do you come from?
It started with my father. I used to go to my father's shop, taking my homework also with me. It's a tailoring shop, a famous tailoring shop.
From retail to you went straight in the restaurant. How was that journey? Was it all easy?
Your experiences in tailoring, textile, fashion, but you don't have experience in F&B and restaurant business.
How do you keep yourself updated on the business side and your own opinion? People, where do they go wrong?
So many franchises come to us. We have this location, they have a very good rent, and we said no.
Gen Z as a customer, I think, is confusing every large brand that had its ears. Given that you run a brand that also comes with its own legacy, how do you keep yourself updated? Hi, welcome to Restrocast. Today my guest is Mohammad Al Madani, chairman of Al Madani Group of companies, somebody who talks about watching the first brick of a paved road in Dubai in his childhood. He comes from a family that is, whose history is deeply intertwined with the history of UAE as a country and each emirate and its royal families. Al Madani Tailors and National Tailors is their family-run business that is responsible for stitching kandura, which is the traditional dress in Arabic nations, for the royal families to who's and who of UAE until today. And I love his passion and enthusiasm today. But what I love the most is his training happened in the most traditional way, how humanity learned everything in the world. I'm a big believer of that, catching people, catching them young. He talks about his training happened at his father's tailoring shop, which he used to, be at post school. While doing his homework, he was learning the ropes of how to deal with customers, how to do business, how to run business. And I think that intrinsic passion of, running a business, serving your customers, building something continues, till today. He, apart from the tailoring business, he forayed into retail and then into the restaurants. Today, he runs Charley's, Philly Steaks, 50 plus stores across, UAE. And what this conversation should tell you is there is no age to innovate. There is no age, to learn. Change is a constant, and building on top of your experiences is the only way to lead a more fulfilled life. And last but not the least, positivity and fundamentals can bring a lot of prosperity to you. I loved my conversation with him. There's a lot to learn. I'm sure you will enjoy. Welcome to Restrocast. So, Mr. Al Madani, thank you for agreeing to do this. Welcome to Restrocast.
Thank you for having me. It's an invitation. Really,
honor is all ours. However much I want to talk about, your current restaurant business and current brands and, what's happening in future, we will start with the start. We'll start with the past. I want to know all about your growing up years, here, and the fact that your family has a history which is, deeply intertwined with the history of this land. I want to know what's the history, where do you come from?
Of course, I will tell you the long journey. It started with my father. I mean, he's at the age of 97 at his home now, but 3 years ago, before the COVID, he would not stop going to his store. So there is no retirement years.
Wow.
So there's nothing called retirement. They don't understand retirement actually in our family. So I grew up, I used to go to my father's shop, taking my homework also with me. It's a tailoring shop, a famous tailoring shop. And BBC had an interview with him 2005, and they called him the Royal Tailor. So you can watch that on BBC.
Mm-hmm.
And I grew with him, at his shop.
How old is that tailoring business, and why did BBC say?
75. He's in 1940s, mid 1940s, because again there was no record of the time of that time there was no Dubai municipality, there was no license.
Correct.
You opened the shop, that's it.
1940s.
Yeah, 45, 40, about around that time I would say, mid 1940s. He started his tailoring shop. He became famous. Most of the tailors around him were elderly people. So he was one of the first young tailor there, sitting there, and all the locals who used to come, and he would receive them with smiles, and which was unique, and all the time, always the owner has to be hard and has to be tough, and even with the customers, So we learn now about the customer service, how to greet, and he used to greet his customers, get up, stand, and receive them, and that interaction with the customers. I saw it myself, when people come and they're very angry because the kandura is shorter or a little bit alteration. So they tell me that. He said, "We were so angry, but when we came and saw your father with a smile, we changed our course." We started laughing, we started have tea with them, coffee with them. So that's how I used to sit and take the measurement. I would record the measurement, and my father would take the tape and take the measurement of all the locals. Now, who were there? Of course, Sheikh Rashid was one of his customers.
Wow.
Yeah, peace be upon his soul. So he was serving Sheikh Rashid, all his children at that time, Sheikh Muhammad, Sheikh Maktoum, Sheikh Hamdan, all they were children at that age, 60 years, 70 years ago. So he used to serve all the family, and also most of the local trade people and businessmen, like Majid Al-Futtaim, Abdullah Al-Futtaim, Al-Ghurair, all the Al-Ghurair family, or the Al-Futtaim family, name it, anybody from the, Dubai businessmen now, they all stitch their kandura from their childhood till now, second or third generation. Now probably it's the third generation that they're coming to our stores. Now, of course, we have more branches and expanded in shopping malls and outside in the high street. Still that old store which my father started, it still there at the Ras area. Almost we celebrated 75 years last year. Actually.
My goodness, so, that is phenomenal.
Yeah, so I grew up in a place where I saw the people and how the customer services, learned it naturally, organically, without going to any school for learning the business.
And you learned the trade. I mean, ropes of the trade and the business while being, it was your second school.
I was. The school was back of our shop in the Ras area. Al Ahmadiyya school was also one of the old elementary schools in Dubai. So I used to go there, and 10 minutes, 5 minutes, I could walk to my father's shop. So they left me, because then you go have a lunch, and after lunch, there's people used to take a rest, and then they come back to work from 4. So they are open from 4 till 8. Morning from 8 to 1, about 1 p.m. So that's how I learned the business from my father, to be very good to the customers, serve the customers, do the greeting. We used to do even delivery at the eat time, because of so much rush, and you could not complete everybody's kandura. So after midnight, when he finished it, put it in the bag, and we used to go. I used to walk with him along, the houses, all his the houses of his customers. And he would just throw the kandura, because the wall was not that high at that time, It's a very short, so you can throw. So in the morning, when they wake up for the eat, they have their new kandura.
Oh, wow. Oh, so you have literally seen this land,
Oh, it's
getting
nothing.
built up from
The first paved street on the knife, I witnessed this. I saw it. There was only track for Land Rover. Jeep Land Rover is the only cars that can you drive, and that mostly desert, and it was almost like a desert. And so the first paved, I think it was 63, 64. I saw it. They call شركة نقليات Dubai. I think it's Al Bakr family that they built now the Jebel Ali Hotel. They own the Jebel Ali Hotel, the same family.
Oh, wow.
So
This was just a port, right? Was it a port city, or what was
the
Dubai?
natural port, the creek itself, it was like a natural port.
Yeah.
Of course, not the big ship. They used to be tug. They bring from the ship will stay away from because it's not that deep. That's why Sheikh Rashid came up with deepening the creek and buried, reclaimed land. He said there's in front of our shop. Actually, my father used to say that the seawater will come up to his machine, his sewing machine. So then they reclaimed that land and they made a street there. So as you see now, it's almost, it used to be in the middle of the creek. So the creek was deepened. That's why then the ship
started coming in the harbor.
Inside.
So did you join did you join the tailoring business? What were your business years like?
Yeah, my first, I think when the customer used to come to my father from Jumeirah, they say Sheikh there. My father used to be called Sheikh because his father was an Imam. So they called him Sheikh Abdul Rahman. So they say, Sheikh, we cannot come anymore now. It's too far and it's congested here. Open us a branch. He said, okay, my son will open a branch in Al Diafa. So my first business was in tailoring in 1992. I set my own tailoring shop. And then I also expanded into shopping malls and High Street, and we have about 7 branches of my own, besides my father. Father has another 5. So,
so how many stores does that business operate today?
About 35 stores now.
Wow.
Yeah.
All
different
in UAE?
brand. We call it Al Madani tailoring. Then it's Al Watani, which is my father started Al Khayyat Al Watan, which means national tailor. Okay. And then I made it also Al Thawb Al Watani, which means national dress. And then we have also Bayt Al Madani, the house of Al Madani tailoring, which I started it in Burjuman. That was solely for my father, but I helped him to open in the shopping mall. The first shopping mall, the first tailoring in the shopping mall was Bayt Al Madani.
And that was Burjuman?
1992. That was for my father. But then I made my own in the Al Diafa.
And that was Burjuman? But what was the first mall?
The first mall was Burjuman.
Burjuman.
Yeah. Burjuman, yeah. So,
and how did you venture into restaurants? Why did that happen?
From the tailoring, textile, I went to the retail fashion. So my first in 96 was Levi's and Dockers and Hang Ten. All from American brands. So, and then we started in Deira City Center in 97, first store. It was Levi's, it was Dockers and Hang Ten. 3 stores, always, whenever we go to any shopping malls, those are the 3 stores that we opened. So we got into the retail and fashion business. We still had Kandura, the tailoring. So it was like a sister company, very similar business. Yani. So we grew up, we had about 40 stores in the shopping malls in the whole UAE. Abu Dhabi Mall, Marina Mall, that was the first 2 shopping malls started in Abu Dhabi. We were the first one to be there. Mall of Emirates, of course, when they built it in 2005, we had. Okay, now we go back to the story of the restaurant business. When I was signing for Levi's, Dockers, Hang Ten with the MAF in the Mall of Emirates, it was a blueprint. They said, Mohammed, don't you have any F&B concept? We have a food court. We're looking for I said, yes, I do have. Because back in when I used to come, when I used to go to America for, buying the products for Levi's, I met this guy who were have Charlie's Philly steak. And I said, this is unique. But let me put it at the back burner because now we're developing the fashion and all this, so we don't have time for F&B. When the Mall of Emirates time came, so the leasing manager asked me, you don't have any food? I said, yes, I do. Then I called my friend in Columbus, Ohio. I said, is it still available Charlie's Philly steak? He said, yes. At that time, it used to be called Charlie's Grilled Sub. Then they changed it to Charlie's Philly steak, rebranded it. So I said, okay, I have a location for you. Location where? Mall of Emirates, where the ski dome is there. There's going to be a ski slope there. So I said, excellent. So they gave me the right.
This was 2005.
Actually, it was July 2004. When 2005 is coming, but then, as you know, most of the shopping malls, especially MAF, will do their homework at least a year or two before, they sign all the locations and everything before they do the construction and all that. So they're much ahead of everybody else. Yeah. So I said, okay, I had Charlie's Philly steak. So we opened, I think it was September 2005. That was the food court. That was the first Charlie's Philly steak. Then shopping malls started approaching us. Then it was Ibn Battuta Mall. At that time, it used to be called Gardens Shopping Mall. They said, oh, we like Charlie's. Can you have it in our food court? I said, okay. Then we opened in Ibn Battuta, in Burjuman, Deira City Center. Whenever any shopping at Dubai Mall, of course, and again, when it was on the blueprint and we booked for all our retail, Levi's, Dockers, Hankton, and Charlie's Philly steak. So besides Charlie's, also I had the cafe. In 2006, I got introduced to Whittard of Chelsea. This is a coffee and tea concept, mainly actually tea concept from England. And I had...
What is it called?
Whittard of Chelsea.
Without Chelsea.
So it was coffee shop, it was a food court concept, F&B, and retail and fashion.
This is, I think this is an obvious question, but that's, from tailoring, you went to ready-made retail,
Garments,
which is generally, most of the tailoring people or custom bespoke tailoring in the world early, did not catch the ready-made garments or apparel business that easily because they thought, who is gonna, buy the pre-stitched stuff? We are going to, our customers want it, to their taste.
Customized, yes.
And then from retail you went straight into the restaurant, which may be occupying a similar space in the mall, but is absolutely a different business. How was that journey? Was it all easy, or was bringing first Charlie's really, made you aware that how difficult the restaurant business is?
I remember even Charlie himself, when I went to get the sign the Charlie's Philly steak and F&B, he said, Mohammad, you are, of course, we have to do our company profile and all that. He said, your experiences in tailoring, textile, fashion, garments, apparel, but you don't have experience in F&B and restaurant business. I said, anyway, my career, actually, my profession was a petroleum engineer. Nothing to do with garments or fashion or tailoring or textile. But I grew up in a business family. And there's nothing called that. I don't know about this business. I'm going to learn it. And I really started from that year reading about F&B business, about the finance, about how to build up the restaurants. Although as a franchising, that's one of the beauty of the franchising. Now also I'm heading the UAE Franchising Association
here
in Dubai and UAE. So I also used to go to the IFA, International Franchise Association in Las Vegas from 2011. So I learned all about franchising, about F&B. Of course, franchising doesn't have to be only F&B. It was all different
Correct.
sectors of business. So that was my challenge. Muhammad, this is a restaurant business. You don't have experience. So, of course, I hired the right people. And when I came, and we did some lesson. I mean, like we learned lessons, of course. We made mistakes. I think the first store before Mall of Emirates, we opened on the Diafa Street, on the main, most of the restaurants at that time was on this high streets. But we found that no, food. This is a food court concept. You need the traffic. So we shut down that store after we spent on the decoration and the renovation, everything. One of also the factor that, is that we were not aware of is the voltage of the power. The power from that building was not enough. In the winter, we opened the stores. There was no need for the AC, but when the summer came, we turn on the AC. We can't. The grill is kicked off. Oh, what is it? What's the problem? Oh, there is not enough power, kilowatt. So this is what we learned, that okay, you have to see how much kilowatt you need for your restaurant before signing the lease or the contract. Make sure that there is enough power there. If you don't have a lot of even shopping malls, you don't have that because the plan wasn't there that they will have that many food courts. So they expanded it later on. Then they found that they don't have enough power for the restaurant. Some of the restaurant has to shut down or they have to go on to D1, get permission. That's a long takes time also to get all the upgraded in the power and get all the approvals from municipality, from civil defense. It takes time. So this is one thing that we learned from our experience.
But what about the supply chain? And I always wonder that. I mean, today the world is more connected, and life is relatively easier if you're doing a global business. But I can't imagine in 2005 how was the supply chain, and given that you were, I'm assuming that you were importing 100% of the stuff into UAE, for food, or most of the stuff, for that matter. What were the learnings on that plane where you are now sourcing a ton of different raw materials? You have, so many moving parts. Retail is easier that way. At least you have counted stuff and you know exactly what's going to sell. Restaurant is like, 300 ingredients trying to make 30 dishes and so on. So
again, because the franchising model helps a lot. Of course, they had the supplier. I mean, the main supplier for the, for the protein products. It was from one of the suppliers that was accredited by the American company, Charley's, because they had Charley's filet stick in all the American bases. And they already have a supply for the meat.
Nice.
So, and they were already tested their manufacturing premises. It was in Jordan, actually. So it was easy for us.
So it was coming to the Middle East anyway.
Is the protein and how it is with the recipe and everything was already done by our franchisor. So that was helpful. The rest, of course, the vegetables and all the other recipes. I had a good brand manager, so had also experience in the market. He also was easy for him to get all the suppliers, all the, whether it's bakery, whether it's, of course, the bakery was the main part of our sandwich. And we also learned. We also go from one supplier to another, to a third, till we found the best. It takes time, definitely. But we did all our homework.
So franchising, of course, I mean, you made a right point. I think franchising, the idea of franchising is that they should be able to give you the know-how and the, and how to operate and already a set
manuals are there, and training. Of course, we send our brand manager. We send him first to America, where they had 4 6 weeks of training. So they learn all about the business, all about how to prepare the sandwich, the whole operation, the staff, how many staff you need per store, and the schedules of all the staff. All they learned from the franchisor. So that's why I say the franchising model is excellent. If you want to, if you don't have an experience in something, go for franchising, because this cooked book, as I said.
But what are the? I mean, people also lose a lot of money as franchisees, and there are mixed reactions in the world about franchising. While it is an extremely powerful, way to grow the business for the brand, and as well as a powerful way for a new entrant to ride on a successful product. But as a franchisee, what is it that you believe that people like? Where do they go wrong?
They try to cut corners, and they try to save money. They think that, okay, if the portion is 1 gram, I'll make it 550 milligram, or I try to cut on that cost. I save money, and that's where the mistakes happens. And if the franchisor also, or the master franchisee, like our case, we don't, strictly watch them and supervise them and stop them from doing those mistakes, then franchisees can make a lot of losses. And location is the number one. So many franchisees come to us. We have this location, they have a very good rent, and we said, no. We know, we learned our business. You need a traffic, you need so many transactions per day. Looking at that mall or at that area, you will not have enough transaction to cover your costs and pay our royalties and pay the American also. So that sometimes the franchisees make a mistake, try to cut costs and cut corner, and not follow the strict manuals and not have a right location. Sometimes franchisees insist, no, it's mine. I say, okay, you take that undertaking, that's not our responsibility. And later on they find that, okay, that location was not the right. So sometimes the franchisee try to cut corners and try to save and not follow the terms and the specifications of the franchisor, and that's when they start.
What does your estate look like right now in the restaurant space? How many restaurants do you have? How many stores? How many brands?
We have now we have UAE, Oman, Saudi, Qatar, and then Djibouti. You won't believe it. Djibouti, yes. It's just the recent.
Oh, recent.
One.
Okay.
It's a recent one. So we have all the international. The franchisor gave us the master franchisee to develop the whole region.
Got
But we have to get their approval. Like, okay, somebody comes from Djibouti, said, I have this location. So we do all the due diligence. Then we approach America that, he's the right franchisee. Then they give approval.
So this is for Charley's, or
for Charley's, yeah. Okay. Charley's.
So how many stores do you run for Charley's now?
We have about 50 stores down there.
50?
50, yes.
And how many of your own and franchisee?
We have 10 of our own.
Beautiful.
The rest are franchised.
Beautiful. So you're also glued into the business. It's not all franchisee that you lose touch with the reality.
No, that was with the condition of the franchisor also. Like, you have to have your own stores. You cannot just franchise everything. Then you definitely lose the touch and use the.
Correct.
So you need to be in the business yourself. That's the secret of the success.
And what do you feel is as a master franchisee, you are practically the owner of the brand for the region. You're practically responsible for the brand, for the franchisees, for a lot of their pain and their happiness. What have you learned to do better, or what have you learned that you follow today in last 20 years of building this estate?
I think that we sometimes get caught in by some of these promotional items and some of these discounts. They come to you and they say, okay, give us this discount, give us that discount, and you have hundreds of platforms here in Dubai and UAE
Correct.
where, you lose your shirt. And we learned the hard way that those promotions after promotions, discount after discounts is not the right way to, market your brand. And we learned the difficult way, so we stopped most of those discounts and promotions, and especially with the aggregator, because now with the aggregator you're already paying a commission, and plus the commission which takes out of your bottom line, then you have to give another 30, another 20% to be on the top of the list, or you do on the weekend.
Advertising cost per
I think you can do it for some time, like for a week or two, but for the whole year to have continuously discounts after discounts, that's also you damage your brand even, because then it's a cheap brand, like say, So you have to have your status. Yes, you do promotion in certain season, certain time, along with there is a big discount in the whole, the mega discount, the super discount that they do in the shopping
festive
malls,
season,
festival season, that you have to participate. I mean, I agree, but not on every single platform. Banks can give you discounts and name it. I mean, there is so many, I don't want to name those companies, but there are so many companies there to, for the marketing purpose, they will, attract you to their promotions.
And I mean, but I hear, from franchisors all the time that, I mean, and I'm talking about especially your relationship as a master franchisee. The franchisee that you're signing up, you are the franchisor for them.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And generally in the franchisee relationship, one thing that I always hear from a lot of franchisors, or especially the ones who stopped doing franchising and said, okay, I'm going to only open company-owned stores. They always say that signing up a franchisee is like, having a business partner with business partner on table. Though it, from an outside perspective or legally, it may look like it is their business and you're only a consultant to them, or you're a supervisor or auditor to them. But in reality, they have a lot of expectations from you, and it becomes a very, very difficult relationship. How has it been for you, and what are the rules to keep it nice?
I think the good relationship, you have to keep your communication with a higher level, not just the brand manager level, okay, they go for the operation. But as a franchisor, as the owner of the master franchisee, I have a relationship with all my franchisees. We have a regular meeting, regular get-together, dinner parties, lunch, and we, whenever we have, the visitor, even the owner himself, Mr. Charley Shin, came to Dubai so many times, so we invite all of them, and they have this open dialogue. If they have anything complain about us, also they have the freedom to talk to the owner himself. So when they saw that open book, there's transparency.
That is amazing.
That transparency that you keep with the franchisees. I mean, we do help them in a lot of franchisees. They lost the location. Okay, because there was a revamping of that area, and they say, "Kalas, Charlie's doesn't exist anymore," because they treat them as a one single. But then we interfere, we go and support that franchisee. That now you move to a better location, you move the food court from one area to another. That incident happened, and they lost opportunity in the new development area. So we stood by them, and we went and fight with them without any, any reward or anything. And
Correct.
Didn't have any financial, except to keep the franchisee, making money and continuing his business without interruption. So time also we negotiate on their behalf on the rentals. A lot of time they come, they say they increase the rent by 20, 30%. We go as if it is our own store. They say, oh, Muhammad, but not to your store. I said, this is our franchisee. It's our partner. You increase it on us 5 to 7%, you have to treat them also the same. So that when they see the franchisee that the franchisor or the master franchisee is standing by up, supporting them all the way, then their relationship is different. They look up to us to solve their problems. So that's how you can keep the franchisees happy. And we have franchisees almost 10 years. We renewed their contract. It's every 10 years as a FMB franchising. It's a 10-year term. So we have been so many of the franchisees already renewed their second term. That means they are happy with us.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
we also, happy with them because of that relationship we keep very good. Challenges there, mistakes happen, but we try to solve it. And, sometimes even the franchisee themselves, there are 2-3 partners, they're having, issues. We try to solve them, or the relationship between them also. It happened so many times.
Yeah, so you truly treat this as your own business, and
exactly.
Their business as your responsibility. No, I think what you said about transparency is paramount. I think that's bang on. That speaks to me.
I always tell them, your success is our success. Your failure is our failure. So we're not going to let you fail. And that's when they, not by words, when they see the action, that when we defended their store, when they supported them in negotiating with the rentals, or even sometimes negotiating with the renovation. Because a lot of times the shopping malls, they want everything brand new from core and shell, and destroy everything and demolish everything. We try to stand by them and try to defend them, and okay, do the renovation, yes, but you don't have to break the whole store. So sometimes the shopping malls became very strict about it, and we try to help them and try to negotiate and compromise between the two sides.
That is amazing. Speaks volumes. In the current food world, and I think restaurant business has just gone crazy in the last 10 years. And I think it is going crazier year on year. And by crazy, I mean Gen Z as a customer, I think, is confusing every large brand that had its ears. Right? I don't know, I should name this or not, but like brands like Domino's, McDonald's, Pizza Hut, KFC, like I'm talking about some of the largest brands in the world, I think they're in trouble because millennials and generation, your generation, my generation, still has a lot of growing up nostalgia around these brands, right? I still see Domino's. I may not think of them as the best pizza on the planet, but I don't think it's a bad pizza. I can still go to Domino's, if I want. But Gen Z has no connection. People who are born after 2000 or 2005, I don't think they have a connection with any of these brands. They just don't know, these brands at all. Their food habits are different. They're more experimental. They're trying to eat everything. Every brand is right now struggling to figure out their balance for the new gen. Given that you run a brand that also comes with its own legacy, how do you keep yourself, updated, both on the business side and your own opinion on what's the food trend? Like, how much room do you have for that innovation? And do you do that? And how do you keep up with it? What's the new channel of marketing? How to attract more people to the store? What do you do? How do you do that?
We have a loyalty program, which is with an application where, Gen Z, a lot of them are part of that. And our social media and marketing is also up to date. So we also follow the Gen Z, whatever they like, from these bloggers that they also close to them. We do invite those bloggers and to our stores, and they talk about Charley's Philly steak. We have also limited time offer things like every season. We came up when things came up about the vegetarian some burger. So we came up with a very similar, we have brown bread, one of the healthy thing that we also did in Charlie's is not white bread. Yes, the white bread is there, but you have choice of brown bread, healthy.
But isn't it crazy that you're having a Philly cheese steak, but with the brown bread?
Yes. And I always buy, I never eat the white bread. I was the one who actually, before America didn't have the brown bread.
Oh.
I started it here in 2007. We have the first.
Oh, so you're saying now Charlie's in America has brown bread?
Now we have it, but initially they didn't have white bread. I didn't have the brown bread, so I started it here in UAE. So limited time offer where we had some time also for, where with the lettuce you can have the meat, and we did that also on some promotion.
The lettuce sandwich?
Yeah, lettuce sandwich. We did try that. So we tried to adopt and have the promotional items or limited time offer at the, I said, to attract all the different customers, liking. And especially with the new generation, we have these application and the loyalty program, and which is, tailored to the need of the new generation.
Did you ever think about bringing more brands here? Do you have more brands, or have you ever thought about it?
In this, I was in the Indian latest franchising exhibition
in India,
New Delhi.
Oh wow! When?
This was last May.
Okay. The Indian Franchise India.
Yeah, Franchise India.
Okay,
yes.
Wow.
And there I signed with the 4 Vietnamese brands in cafe, tea, and health. Different type of
4 Vietnamese brands were showcasing an Indian franchising show.
Yeah.
And you signed it up for UAE.
I signed with them master franchising for GCC.
Oh, wow. That is amazing.
Yeah. So
and this is all Vietnamese.
Vietnamese, and also they have in India.
May I know the brand, or is it still under wraps?
No, they have stores already. They opened in New Delhi.
What is the brand called?
It's 3 brands actually. 3 o'clock, because that's a time. Now also that is very tied to the new generation. They have it around the colleges. I don't know. They told me about 3 o'clock where they go for the coffee after they have their fun. So they called it 3
That's
o'clock.
A cafe?
That's a cafe. And the other one is for the coffee, and it's called 3. I forgot because it's just brand.
No worries.
Name.
No, I'm just curious. I mean, because I may not know the brands, but I'm just curious because
there's a coffee concept, a tea concept, and a health concept.
Nice.
The health concept is amazing. I really liked it because they take care of the pregnant woman. Care for love, or love for care.
Wow. Oh, so they have a pregnancy.
From pregnancy to the even birth, they take care of the child for the first 3 months or 6 months until they go to the nursery, and they even teach them how to swim.
I can relate. I have a 9-month-old daughter, so I think we have gone through pregnancy just now. So I know it was difficult for my wife to eat almost anywhere, without being very careful.
They tie their service mostly in the whether in the hospitals or the clinics where they have for taking care of the pregnant woman. Every month they go for a visit, so they take care of them while they're waiting for the mother, and they massage them and all that. So they give them some training, and especially if it's the first child, first pregnant, and they mentally prepare them also. So it's a very amazing concept.
That's brilliant. So that's going to be the new brand. And you talked about the tea brand, the British tea brand. Did you expand that?
The British tea brand, actually, it went into administration or bankruptcy in 2011. So then we changed it actually to bagel bar and coffee house. The same stores from Whitard of Chelsea, we moved it to bagel. Bagels also, it didn't work out. The coffee is bagel and coffee. I think our customer were very limited. Only the Western
Correct. Bagels is
not
very American.
Yeah. And even myself, when first time I tried the bagel, I said, it's not sweet. I thought it's donuts, I say, no, this is not donuts, Muhammad. This is our breakfast. So we put cheese, we put, salmon and all different type of the bagels.
I'm a old school bagel lover.
Yeah, you like the bagel, huh?
Yeah, I love bagels. I love a good bagel. I mean, US
bagels were imported actually from Ireland because the brand was Irish brand.
Okay.
So we used to source the bagels. They couldn't match the bagel from Ireland actually.
Let's talk about your on your side personally. What keeps you nourished? What keeps you enriched? What do you do for your learning? Is it books? Is it podcast? Is it something else? Meeting people? What do you do to learn on a day-to-day basis?
Since I used to go, as I said, to IFA convention, I learned a lot there. How to take care of the business, how to the corporate, how to take care of the corporate. So that was a big learning for me. I used to, in my 14 hours of flight, I have all the business books with me. read and learn, and strategies, planning, appraisals, and all those I learned from reading those books. How to plan and how to have mission and vision in your corporate. I started it in 2005, and also used to go to courses, in the schools and learn more about the F&B business. And franchising, of course, was one of the things that made me more into the business. And by heading the now UAE Franchising and Trademark Association, Tajamma, I attend most of the conferences. I do also a speaker in most of these conferences.
Awesome. So, so there's a UAE Franchising Association?
Yes.
And this is about general franchising?
Yeah,
across the board.
Everything related to franchising.
So
of course, they try to promote the UAE branch to go globally, from local to global, and also international brands coming two ways.
What is it? What is the association called?
Tajamma.
Tajamwa.
Yeah, in Arabic, tajamma means gathering. So to gather, and we have also like.
And is it like a non-profit or is it like
non-profit? Yeah, it is
non-profit.
Approved by the UAE Ministry of Tanmiyah in Arabic. And,
Trade and Commerce?
Yes. So it's been accredited by the government Ministry of...
as a business owner, you keep learning, but you learn the most from your experiences.
Exactly.
Books are books and advice.
These are the
can be
guidance,
just the guiding light.
These are the tools, as you said.
But you still have to walk the path. Yeah. How have you changed as a person in last, 10 years, 20 years? What are the things that you recognize have changed in you over last 2 decades, 3 decades?
People. I think your assets are the people. You recognize the more you try to have that one-to-one relationship. And and I do appraisal for my brand managers, for all my, subordinates. But in my dialogue, it's like one-to-one. It's not like I'm your boss and you are my employee. So that I learned, that we have that relationship. We have people who worked for us for 10, 15, even 20 years. We have farewell with them. Of course, at the end, they have to go learn from our company, from our business. You can never stop people from growing. So they want to do a different company. They want to diversify their experience. You help them. So that is what I learned, that, people are your asset. the more personal relationship you keep with them, the more they gain your trust. And I'm not having any more fashion retail, but whenever I pass by those stores, there's employees, they wave to me, Mohammad Al come, take that brand back to, we want to work with you, because they
Awesome.
find the difference, in some corporate, I don't also blame the owners, they have 200 brands and thousands of stores.
Yeah.
It will be difficult to keep that.
Yeah, at times businesses become soulless.
Yeah. So mine was different. Not a big company. It's we're medium size, a family business type. I learned from my father how to treat your staff. My father never used to yell or to to the staff. They used to be right in front of him, actually, because at the time the showroom and the tailors, they were same. There was no workshop because, again, it was a small 4 or 5 tailors sitting on the floor with their machines, and my father is the master who's cutting the pieces, and then he's distributing to the tailors.
Yeah.
So he also had a good tea and coffee, the correct tea every morning they have, and they're drinking in front with my father. So that is the relationship I learned, that you have to keep your good relationship with your staff.
Have you heard about this guy called Ram Charan?
No.
Ram Charan, so I'm going to, definitely send you a book by him. He's written a couple of them. Ram Charan is, he's the consultant to almost 100% of Fortune 50 CEOs. Indian origin, Indian guy, old, but in the US. He grew up in state of UP in India. It's called Uttar Pradesh. It's a North Indian state. The most populous. It's the Texas of India. Wild. And he grew up in his father's shoe shop in 40s, 50s. And what really strikes me about him is that whenever people ask him that if you're advising a Fortune 10 CEO, where do you get the wisdom to advise a Fortune 10 company CEO? And he very simply, with a lot of simplicity, he will say, well, honestly, I have been actually advising all these people what I learned at my father's shoe shop back in UP. And he said the principles are quite simple. Make sure that your customer is treated well. Make sure that your product is high integrity. You only promise what you sell, and you sell, what you promise. You care for your credibility, and brand. Move fast, but don't, move fast at the cost of breaking your business. So he outlines a couple of, these things, which, I think in my own experience personally, I think over the years, I started feeling that, the insights to run a business or to lead a life are much simpler and not really that complex. Problem is the execution of it. Most of the advice, like for example, you just said, treat your employees well. Now, this is a very simple advice which is available in every self-help or business book. But I think to really do that, somebody has to, work hard.
I always learned this kiss, keep it simple and straight. So that's, if you take that principle, apply it to anything that you do, keep it simple, straight, that you will win.
What's keeping you anxious? What do you worry about?
As I said, I learned from my father, no retirement. I'm not thinking to retire from the business.
But world is talking about work-life balance.
Yes, definitely. Morning, 2 hours I spend on cycling and walking. I cannot run anymore because of my knees, but I do walk on the Jumeirah beach And I go from my house on the canal. I'm very lucky to be in the canal. So on the cycling, I go to that beach and then do on that track about an hour of walking and hour of cycling, going back and forth. So that is keep me active too and young. And then go back and go to the office. I'm there from 9, 10 till 6 till I came to the function today.
Yes, 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 yes. No, I think I was just kidding when I was talking about that work-life balance thing, because I think today work-life balance is being talked about in media a lot in a very stupid, like in the wrong light, because it almost tells young people not to work hard, which just confuses me. Because if you're young or if you're trying to build a life for yourself, the only way is to work hard.
Definitely.
Otherwise, I mean, you may earn less, but you'll not have a great life. And that's very, very important. And when I see people like you who have no financial reason to work, but are working because you need to work, you need to have some accomplishment, something to look forward to in life every day. That's very inspiring.
I still also go to my stores. I know most of my staff, not everyone, but most of them, she's the supervisors and
On both sides, the tailoring side and
yes. So I go to the shopping malls and visit them, and sometimes I do like a mystery shopping. I go from the back and see all the
what's happening.
backward, the back kitchen, how it is clean and organized, and before the municipality comes and catches some of the expiry or especially drinks or all the products, they have an expiry date. And we have, of course, our inventory system. People who could do a physical inventory and matches with the digital one.
How often do you do that? The surprise visits or visits in general. How much time do you spend on the field?
At least 2 to 3 times a month, I would say. Almost every week, weekend, like that. And sometimes we do testing also. I go and do the testing, participate in the testing of some new products or this limited promotion.
So LTOs you talked about, which is limited time offers,
Yeah.
where you test new products. Are you saying that the R&D for creating new products at Charley's is also your responsibility, and you do that here?
We do the customized one, the local, the international one comes from the States. Then we have also the option, like say rice is, you have the Asian community here. Sometimes they don't like the bread; they want the meat and with the rice. So we have that product. There is a fish which is not in America. So we had the fish sandwich too.
Oh, Philly. Okay, Charley's
Philly.
has fish here.
Fish fillet, we call it.
It's not. I mean, in US they don't have fish.
No. So of course, we have to give approval. We send we tell them these are the products, this is the recipe, and we send all the details. They approve for us. So they are, again, when you imagine that McDonald's going to sell chicken,
Yeah,
as chicken wings or
correct.
or other way, KFC.
Correct.
You ever imagine they're going to send burgers? So the trend is there, where they start accepting. I remember going to UK once in the KFC. They had this biryani.
Yeah, they have it in India as well.
So then I learned that, okay, now they start changing their mind. You need to, customize to the local needs. Yes, you have an international brand, KFC, McDonald's, Burger King, but still they have to adopt, like Macarabia. So they did it in McDonald's. So we do the same thing.
When a young aspiring restaurateur comes to you, when somebody in the current generation comes to you and says, I have a dream to, start a restaurant, or I am planning to invest $3 million of my family in, the restaurant business, what advice do you have for them?
Of course, as I said, the franchising model is the most easiest one, so you don't have to learn all the mistakes and all the challenges. But I have seen now examples of even some of the locals coming up with their own brand, and they are successful. Saddle, Salt,
Salt is great.
Society, Somewhere, Home Bakery. All these are local brands that they started by the young new generation.
Correct.
And they are successful. They're growing. So if I see a young who has a brilliant idea or some concept that he really mastered it, so a lot of them, they do it at home first. I mean, Home Bakery, I remember they used to have it at in the Safa Park. They used to have every weekend during the winter, pop-up, and Home Bakery was there. So they started it there from house to then marketed.
I think Salt also started in a food truck.
Yeah, it was a food truck in the Kite Beach, where that was the first. And still that truck is there,
Oh, that's there?
Yeah.
I saw it way, way early on.
So I'm seeing good examples of the local brands, homegrown brands, actually going global. Saddle is in the UK, and Salt also out of UAE, Saudi, and so many neighboring countries. So I'm very proud of these youngsters who, build up the brand here from Dubai.
Well, that is so good, and I'm sure when they will see you taking their names, they will love it as well.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Al Madani, this is a fabulous chat. Thank you for agreeing to do this. And I can tell you that I meet a lot of restaurant operators across the world. You have been one of the most positive voices for the business, for being a franchisee, for being a master franchisee. I haven't heard a speck of negative element in your conversation about any stakeholder. So I'm 101% sure that from your employees to your partners, and your partners on both sides, your franchisees and your franchisor, I think all of them are quite fortunate that they have, they're working with you. This is really, really fabulous. It was extremely inspirational for me. I'm sure people who watch it, they'll learn a lot.
Thank you very much for having me and giving me the opportunities to reach through the broadcast all our friends, our partners, our associates, and great to be here.
Thank you. No, pleasure is all ours. Thank you.